I've got shit to say. I've got a lot of shit to say. And I want people to be here to witness it. So I'm not just talking to thin air. Let me you know what? Fuck this bot. This bot does nothing. Absolutely nothing. Everyone. Fuck. I have got shit to say. I'm not too happy. Not too fucking happy at all. I spent the last... Just hair doing on my microphone. I spent the last 2 hours doing that mini game. Actually no, last maybe hour actually. Hour and a bit. Feels longer though. And most of it was on the final one, and I'll talk about it in a minute once people get in here. Stop slacking off and watching their weeb anime shit. I got a headache as well from it. That's how annoyed I was. Umbral midpoint. This stream might be cut short because of the headache I've got. Okay, so this is probably going to be the final bit. Hold on, let me see. Let me check something a sec. Okay, so she's actually she's actually got AoE heals. What does she have stat wise? Chain 2, Calamity Throw, Blood Circle. Yo, Immortal. As you can tell by the title, I've played a bit of this game off stream. And that fishing minigame might be one of the worst JRPG minigames I've ever played. Ever. I did the fishing minigame. I haven't finished it. I got to the final part, third chapter of it, and I just had enough. I just had fucking enough. Like, I'd done it over. It's so... Yeah, I lost over... Like, it's RNG. It's so heavily RNG. Not only do I have to have a percentage of a chance of hooking the fish, but then I have a percentage of a chance of actually reeling the fish in. So I can waste 3 rounds worth of build up because of the fucking game decided the 1s and 0s weren't aligned in my favour. There is barely any skill in that game. Barely any. No, I know what bait to use. I know the fish that I have to use. It's completely random of whether I can actually hook the fish or not. No, I'm on the last one. I have tried doing, like, the first 2 were fine. I got past them. The third one was absolutely stupid. I had to get sea bass over and over again, then use the sea bass to get a large fish. I kept on trying to do that. I only ever got a big fish once in about 5 tries of that fucking chapter. Only 1 big fish. And it wasn't even the largest one. So I just thought, you know what, I can't stand this. I can't, like, I was even sitting there contemplating to myself, I might just cheat. I might just find a cheat engine or whatever and cheat past this stupid minigame. Because I don't have the, it's not even the patience. Like, I would be happy to sit there for 10 minutes waiting to catch a big fish, if that's what it meant for me to pass that minigame. I hated it. I hated this. Honestly, one of the worst minigames I've ever played in a JRPG ever. At least in, say, in FF8's card-based minigame, even though that's somewhat RNG based on the cards you get, at least there's some level of strategy and skill involved in that game. And I actually like the FF8 card game. This minigame, this fishing minigame, was abysmal. It's poorly designed. It's basically they just took second chapters, already bare bones minigame, and decided, let's make a competition minigame out of it. Let's give this bare bones fishing minigame that I really didn't care much for in the second game, and let's make a big old huge part of it. And I wouldn't be pissed off as much about it if I didn't have to do it in order to unlock things towards the end of the game. But I have to do it, and that's what pisses me off the most about it. They reworked the fishing in Cold Steel. Now, thank God for that. I cannot stand second chapters and this game's fishing minigames. They are abysmal. They are the worst things I have ever fucking played in JRPG history. I love this franchise, but I am not without being able to criticize it. That fishing minigame is dreadfully made, poorly designed, and a bunch of horse shit. And once I complete it, if I ever replay this game again, I'm never doing that fishing minigame ever again. In fact, part of me I was even contemplating when I was playing that game. This game might not even be worth me seeing the additional stuff at the end of the game. I might as well just bring it up on YouTube and watch it on stream, because I cannot be fucked to do that minigame. It's so fucking annoying. But if it comes to it, I will see if I can find a cheap thing for it, because I cannot be bothered with it. I cannot be fucking bothered. It's so poorly designed. So lazily done. It's trying to mimic other JRPGs that have done things like this before. But it's so bare bones, lazily put together. At least the Gilbert one had some effort put into it. It was a different style of minigame. That was just second chapter's fishing mechanics duplicated into a stupid RNG minigame where you have to compete against ridiculous odds. No consideration was put into it. None. Gave me a fucking headache as well. Gave me a headache because of how stupid it was. Yeah, I'm gonna say my door is the worst of them all. So that door is really bad. Lay and wait. It's not even that that's the issue. I don't care about laying and waiting. I expect that from fishing. My problem is that it's RNG. I can spend 3 turns trying to get a sea bass, and once I get that sea bass, I can then use it to try and get a bigger fish. But there's 2 luck checks that you have to get through in order to potentially catch this fish. Catch a large fish. You have to get through the luck chance of actually hooking the fish, and then you have to get the luck chance of reeling the fish in. And if you don't pass either of those, or one or the other, you lose that fish that you had to build up 3 rounds to get. You lose it, so you have to spend another 2 or 3 turns trying to get that fucking fish back. It's so stupid. It's actually stupid. Like, it's no skill. Like, I would be able to blame myself. Go, oh fuck, I should have done that earlier. I should have used this or used that. But that's not the issue. The issue isn't on my end. It's in the game. It's the game's problem that it can't fucking design a minigame properly. Actually shit. Actually fucking shit. Don't even do the I'm not doing it on stream. If I did it on stream, I would probably when I did it, I actually slammed my table and everything jumped up on it. I had my keyboard, I had my mouse, I had like a bunch of other shit. It all levitated from my table because I slammed the desk that hard. Because I was that fucking pissed off with the minigame. And I nearly won it once as well. I nearly won it. But do you know what happened? Do you know what the Baron did? He managed to suddenly flick out a 300-point fish right at the end. What bollocks is that? I would turn into I'd become look like the Hulk. I'd look like the fucking Hulk. My veins are already slightly coming out of me. Like, I'm that pissed off with this stupid minigame. And this was what, like maybe an hour ago since I stopped playing it, and it's still making me annoyed. It's still pissing me off because I now realise that I'm gonna have to go back and try and do it at some other point off stream. But I thought, nah, I can't be bothered. I can't be bothered to go another hour and basically feel like I want to fucking kill myself. Because it's such a shitty fucking minigame, man. Baker smash. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what happened. I smashed my... Like, if I had my camera on, you would see everything lift off at the table. The only thing that probably didn't lift off was my computer tower. But that was, you know... neither here nor there. Things levitated. I have a laptop that lifted slightly. Like, I don't like smashing things with my fists, because I usually end up breaking things. I've broken pairs of scissors before by snapping them. I've fucking broken controllers. I did not want to smash my desk. I tried not to smash things, but that game nearly made me break things. And then should the door open. I could do that actually. I could do that door. I need to calm down. I need to calm down. I don't think there could be anything more annoying than that. There could be a boss battle. There could be a boss battle that could be ridiculously hard. But I don't think I would ever get as angry as I have at that fishing minigame. Do that door. That is one of the best doors. It will calm you. Who do I need for... I need Olivia and Vander, I'm assuming? The minstrel and his best friend. I assume that's Vander. Oh god. Give me a sec, guys. Oh dear me. Do it. I hope there's no more RNG based games. I hope there's not. Like that bad. I might actually need to go get something to drink maybe. That should have been the worst. I still haven't finished it yet. I need to finish it. So the worst... I haven't finished the door. I still haven't finished it. I still need to finish it at some point. But if that's the worst door, then at least I have knowledge that if I do eventually get past it, which I'm sure I will, I just have to retry it a million times till luck favours me. But at least I know that after I pass that, then I'm not going to have... you know, mind-destroyingly annoying fucking minigames. Don't know if you need to complete it or just open it. I'll just complete it for the sake of it. Like I'm nearly done with it. I might as well just push to get it done just in the event. The banquet to celebrate the crisis' successful resolution was over, with Estelle and her friends having largely left the capital to go elsewhere. One of them, however, Prince Oliver Therese Arnold, sat rather comfortably in the ambassador's office in Gransel's Erebonian embassy. His work in the country not quite settled. I can't believe that you... I mean, my deepest apologies for not noticing that you were His Highness's Prince Oliver sooner. I'm not surprised you never realised. I may be a prince, but my mother was a commoner. What point is there in bothering to remember my face? Is this... This might actually... I don't know why I'm thinking this, but what he just said then, that his father was royalty and that his mother was a commoner, reminds me of Vinland Saga, Askalad's mum and dad. It's not as though I often show myself in the place or attended high school gatherings. Because in Vinland Saga, his dad, like, didn't give a shit about his mum, didn't give a shit about him, just left for him to die. No, Vinland Saga. Vinland Saga is an anime. It's an anime, not a game. It's like about Vikings. It's really damn good. Probably one of the best modern animes in recent years. Really good, really good. Really like mature, really great characters. Very grounded, apart from maybe one or two characters that just seem ridiculously. Besides, I'm actually rather grateful to you, Ambassador. You gave me all kinds of useful advice during my stay here at the embassy that I'm sure will be to benefit my future. As there might be more than one you need Olivia for. Yeah, maybe, I don't know. I mean, as long as it isn't as annoying as the fishing minigame, I'm sure I'll just calm down. Act like a man of the Empire for once in your life and stop idling here, go home and try doing some damn work. Your Highness, Your Highness, I think you've tormented him long enough one day. The Ambassador behaved in the same way any other sane man would in this position. If anything, I'd say he has every right to be angry at us for keeping the truth from him for so long. I wasn't joking about being grateful to you, though. You truly have done admirable work over the past month. I have. Acting as a pipeline with the Empire, checking the safety of Erebonians residing in Liberal, helping the international line of service to resume. I know that only the tip of the iceberg. You've done so much more. You have my deepest thanks as a Prince of the Empire. I am not worthy of such praise, Your Highness. You, however, deserve the utmost for braving the danger you did flying up to the Liberag. All of what happened seems to have caused quite the commotion in our homeland. The people seem to be rather relieved now that they know the danger has passed. It's all thanks to your courage that they are able to rest easy. There's no point flattering the Ambassador. Excuse me a sec, guys. I need to go get something to drink. Because if I don't, I feel like I've burst of energy and I've got a bit of a headache now as well. So I'll be like 5 minutes maybe. Be back in a sec. Okay, I'm back. And I couldn't have done anything alone. All I was able to accomplish was thanks to the help of those around me. Fairly removed from the stereotype of Erebonians as stern, strong, and self-sufficient, if I do say so myself. As rude as it may be to agree, perhaps you're correct. Yet I believe your willingness to be flexible most definitely helped rather than hindered you here. I believe people like you are exactly what the Empire is going to need in the future. Regardless of how I may feel about His Excellency and the Chancellor's approach. The Chancellor, is this the Iron and Blood Chancellor? I was under the impression that you supported the Chancellor. Then again, you are a noble. Does that lead you to oppose his reformist policies, perhaps? I may be a noble on paper, but I'm only a baron. All in all, I generally fall in favour of his reformist policies. Be that as it may, while this may be the result of being in Liberl for so long and being influenced by the ways of its people, I do sometimes find myself becoming frightened by his hardline approach. I can't help but wonder exactly what direction he's trying to take our old nation. Your Highness? Oh, I was just thinking that I'm quite glad to have taken a chance to engage in such fruitful talk with you just before departing the country. I pray you will continue doing all you can to ensure the peace of Liberl and its surrounding nations while I'm gone. Preferably in cooperation with Ambassador Cockring. Cockring. That's what I like to call her now. Oh shit, is this already opened? No, okay. I thought this drink bottle that I got, this raspberry drink bottle, had already been opened. I was thinking, how could this be opened? But it hadn't, it was just loose. Still, it's true that since the non-aggression pact was signed, there has been some progress with regard to the cross-spell problem. And given that it was Liberl who proposed said pact, that makes my role in future negotiations very important indeed. I presume that is what you're trying to say. You're a sharp one, my good man. Excellent. Now I can return to the capital with my mind at ease. Leave everything here to me, Your Highness. I will be looking forward to hearing what you achieve back in our homeland. This is truly a country like no other. I never thought the day would come when I would hear things like that from a noble of the Empire. Cool. I think my throat's going out. He's apparently somewhat less of an obstinate man than I thought he was. Perhaps this nation's very air has the power to genuinely change people. Seems to have had an effect on... Fuck, I think I might have fucked up my voice. The rage. Seems to have had an effect on you too. I feel like I'm seeing a lot more smiles from you these days than I used to. I'm loath to admit it, but that may well be true. I still find myself wishing that you would learn from Liberlian's dignity and sense of restraint, however. True qualities you don't particularly possess in any measure. In fact, you have far too much of their opposites. You say that, but these qualities are the only weapon that I have. Hold on, give me a sec. I don't have that much wood to compete against the Chancellor. I used to use what little happens to be tucked in my corner as best I can. Okay. Have there been any changes to our plans? No, and we should be able to proceed as arranged. 3 days ago, the Chancellor left the capital on a tour of Eastern Erebonia. Tomorrow you will be returning there aboard the Arcee while he's still out in the east. All those who need to be made aware of your return have been given proper notice. Okay. So I guess they're trying to dodge him? Or potential obstructions to the plan are there at present. Nothing major. There have been some movements in the Intelligence Division's 4th subdivision, but not much. There's a chance that everyone is being cautious because the Arcee is involved, but I put greater odds on the idea that everyone is just treating this as a pompous performance by you and not taking it seriously. Well, they'd be right to it is. I have no choice but to start here, even if this means I have to use Liberl. If I'm going to put on a show, why not put on the finest one the skies have ever seen? I suppose I can't argue that. Okay. So I guess this is going to somewhat build into future games. Finishing the first game today. Sinbad, you just missed probably one of my biggest rants. My biggest rage rants. Isn't Lecter? I was wondering where you'd been. I haven't seen you all day. I've been exceptionally busy with work since this morning, I'm afraid. I'd hoped to be able to come and see you earlier since you'll be leaving tomorrow. I'm terribly sorry for not being able to. I don't remember this dude. But he's got a character portrait, so maybe he was one of the early games. If that walk of yours is done now, we three could always enjoy some sensual quality time together for the remainder of the night. So what was the message from the Capital Secretary? They've acknowledged receipt of His Highness's message. However, they didn't anticipate that you may be able to arrive all the way from Grantsall in less than half a day. As such, they're currently in a minor panic trying to ensure everything's ready for the ceremony tomorrow. That doesn't come as a surprise. There's nothing like the RSA when it comes to speed at home. TC Sinbad. Yeah, even if you can't watch it on the VoD today, until you've caught up, the VoD will always be on YouTube as well, so. Though it sounds as though the stage will be set in time, now I need to decide on an outfit that will leave everyone's jaws on the floor to sweeten my arrival. Perhaps a glistening coat and white loincloth would do the trick. I mean, it would have, I guess, the intended effect. Jaws would definitely drop. See for myself. Please don't encourage him. You show a remarkable promise for someone so young. What do you say to coming back on the RSA with me? I'd welcome your company. Your work here in Liberal is just about done as it is, isn't it? Your offer's certainly tempting, but I'm afraid I have another job to take care of soon. The thought is appreciated, of course. That is a shame. Good luck with the next job of yours. Why do I get this feeling? This Secretary Lecter. Like, they show us a character portrait. He's busy doing other stuff or whatever. Second Secretary Lecter Arundel. Is it safe to assume he's one of the chancellors? Okay. So he's related to Giliath, connected to Giliath Osborne, I assume then. He came through Hacking Gate on foot and took up his new position at the embassy a month ago, and right around the same time we headed to the Lee Barrack across the RSA at that. There's no way that could possibly be a coincidence. No, it couldn't. The most likely possibility seems to be that he's part of the intelligence division. Are you sure not doing anything regarding him? Are you sure not doing anything regarding him all this time was a good idea? Absolutely, we need to find some way to find out what the Chancellor's up to after all. We'll probably get some kind of reaction from the Chancellor through his reports at some point. Probably in about 2 weeks when the Chancellor's tour has finished. You'd planned that far ahead all along, had you? Well, in that case, I'll be sure that we're ready. I'll be counting on you, love. Oh, bloody hell. Not really, it's just that the moon has come out. Oh, what a beautiful full moon it is. That full moon. Wallace and Gromit are up on that moon. It's strange to think that this will be the last time we'll see the moon from here. Truth be told, I'm going to miss it. Well, well, it looks like putting a smile on your face a little more often isn't the only thing the Burl's done for you. It's opened up your eyes to life's natural beauty as well. But in all seriousness, we'll just have to do all we can to be able to come back and see it again one day. While we're both still alive. Why does that feel foreshadowing? Why does that feel like it's foreshadowing? The next morning. Because like when you think about it, of course Sinbad's gone now. Hopefully he's not listening to this. But when you think about it, we haven't really had that many major deaths. And when you think about it, the biggest death I feel we've had is Low. And we haven't really had any, like, of course we've had deaths and flashbacks and stuff, but like in terms of the main sort of timeline narrative, I'm trying to think, because I think that's it. Oh, and Wiseman as well, I suppose. Low and Wiseman. I humbly thank you both for your generous hospitality during this. Oh yeah, this is the door. Okay, this is the door. You were even gracious enough to humour my brazen request of escorting me back to the Heimdall aboard the RSA. But if I owe you will be repaid many times over in the future, rest assured of that. I wonder if we're actually going to get more deaths as time. I suppose one thing is we probably will get deaths closer to the end of Trails, like the Trails overarching narrative. Because this game isn't one of the, like, it's capable of killing people off. Like, I know that. I know games that aren't as mature as this that have killed characters off, so. But I suppose they wanna build up all the storylines going into the finale so that each death has purpose. The writing in this game is so much better than in Cold Steel. Fuck my life. Oh man. If you have an opportunity, please do come back to Liberl again in the future. I imagine Estelle and Joshua will be back by then too, so we'll be able to give you a nice warm welcome. I am close to hating Cold Steel. Really? Okay. I hope it's not the same for me. I've only heard good things about the Cold Steel games. I've heard they're not as good as the Sky games. Like, that's one thing that I've heard from everyone, that the Sky games are better. But I've never really heard, like, huge hate for the Cold Steel games. Busy getting ready to leave over in Roland at the moment, I believe. I see. Incidentally, while the ruins of Hamel are currently sealed off, I'll do what I can on my end to ensure they are allowed inside. Could I trouble you to pass that along to them? Thank you very much, Your Highness. That Cassius greatness. I was thinking nothing of it. It's the least I could do after all they've done for me. Oh, I've got a lot of gas in me today. If not for your assistance stopping that armoured division from crossing into Liberl, wouldn't have been as simple as it was. Oh yeah, their organised plan to you know, kick things into gear with the Liber arc. The outcome will have been well within the realm of possibility for the Chancellor. I doubt he was even surprised by the incident. Really? Most likely not. Erebony had nothing anything to gain from using the situation to occupy Liberl. I think that's a typo there. Certainly not to the extent that it would be worth going out of their way to develop inefficient steam tanks. The only reason I can see for him doing what he did was a show of power to surrounding nations, a statement that even without orbital power, Erebonia's army could still act. Okay. I indeed suspected it was his true aim all along. I can't wait to... That's one thing that I'm really excited about the Cold Steel games. Cold Steel 1 might be naff, maybe, but I really want to see how stuff that has been put in place by this game plays out in Cold Steel, because it's so obvious that Giliath Osborne, like the Iron and Blood Chancellor that they're talking about here, is going to be a major, like, overarching, or like a major villain for Cold Steel, just by how they're writing about him here, unless he's in the Crossbow duology. But I feel like he's going to be like a major, like, part to Cold Steel. Like, I'm fairly confident in saying that, just purely because this is like Giliath Osborne is Olivia's rival, right? Or like the person that he's trying to fight against in like a political sense, right? And that Cold Steel is set in Erebonia, so it just makes sense for Osborne, Giliath Osborne, to be a part of the Erebonian sort of arc. Like, it might make sense for him to be in the Crossbow games, but it makes even more sense for him to be in that. I'll give it to the benefit of the doubt until I finish the game. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. It's probably one of the deals. Like, it's what I do know about Cold Steel is that there's high school set in Erebonia. It's 3D. and the main protagonist has black spiky-ish kind of hair. That's about it. And there's a blonde girl. So perhaps it might never occur again, but there's always a chance it might, whether it's here or somewhere else. But like it might just be that the first game is the calm before the storm, and then the second game will be like similar to second chapter. Things are starting to kick into, because you got to remember that the Cold Steel saga is like 4 games. It's 4 games. It's larger than the Sky trilogy. So it might just be that it's taking longer to build into things and create stuff, because I know that Erebonia is larger as well than Liberal, right? So it might just be that it's taking longer to kind of build the world and build the characters and do all that kind of stuff, and it might seem a bit naff in comparison, which I've heard it is. Like, it's not as good as Sky, but maybe it just takes a while for you to properly get to it. Yeah, we don't know about protagonists. I also find the other characters more intriguing. The Empire only built a relatively small number of those tanks in all too. Certainly not enough to launch a full-scale invasion. It might just be a matter of time. It might just be a matter of time. I feel one issue in Mortal that you're probably having is that when you come off of something like this and you go straight to Cold Steel right away, and people have said that Cold Steel isn't as good, you're jumping into something that isn't as good as what you'd played previously, right? In terms of narrative and all that kind of stuff. So you're probably, like, your expectations were high, because you were thinking this is the same franchise as the Sky games. But when you get into it, it's not quite as good as you'd want it to be. So then your kind of perspective of it is kind of like, this isn't that great. But maybe it'll grow on you. The dialogue is too childish and off topic. Yeah, it might just be a case of calm before the storm, maybe. I don't know. I guess I'll see when I get to it. But it might just be like a, you know, that kind of deal. Like, I knew visual novels that did this, like, I guess they're high schoolers. Yeah, that's one thing, right? This game, some of the party members are adults as well. Like, Zin is an adult, Agate is technically an adult, Sherazade is technically an adult. You know, some of these characters are mature, you know, adults, right? Whereas I guess Cold Steel is like school kids. Maybe it's a coming of age. Maybe it's more of a coming of age story. Like, the first game, they're happy, they're loving it. Then the second game maybe is a bit more depressing. Then the third game might be a bit more depressing after that. And then maybe the fourth game is like, you know, starting to rebuild hope for these characters or whatever. Because there's four games. There's 4 games for this huge sort of overarching thing. It's putting together in Rifles factory using parts intended for standard orbital tanks. But as it stands, the know-how to put together tanks like that only exists in the Empire, and in these unpredictable times, no other nation has the time or resources to try and develop extremely inefficient steam-powered weaponry. In a sense, because of what just happened, the Imperial Army's effect as a deterrent is even greater than ever. True. He's using war as a diplomatic tool, and very effectively at that. I'm a long way to go before I fit into the rule of this country. I must remember the discussions I had when I was 16. Yeah, you know, it's a different time, right? It's a different time. You know, these characters are just starting their journey, so maybe it'll just take a little bit longer for you to properly like acclimate to it. But I'm sure from what I know that the writing isn't as good as the Sky games. Like, I've heard it from other people that it's not quite as good as these ones is. Don't beat yourself up too much about it. He's no ordinary foe to even the most hardened veterans. The Chancellor always seems to be thinking several steps ahead of the rest of the world. It's impressive no matter what they may think of his actual ideas. I'm quite the reckless fool to be trying to challenge him, if I do say so myself. Don't be silly, Your Highness. How can you say that with a smile on your face? Is utterly beyond me. You should focus on building yourself a strong foothold to begin with. I do hope you'll be careful. And what may occur, be sure not to lose sight of exactly where you stand. Of course, Your Majesty. If I were to go and bring shame upon myself now, I'd be wasting all the effort involved in escorting me back home. I'll be sure to take what you have said to heart. Excuse me, Your Majesty. Woman's voice. Who's this? Oh, the head maid. It's not often I see you so flustered. My apologies, Your Majesty. It's just that a guest for you arrived all of a sudden at the castle. Ordinarily, I would not have rushed in while you were meeting with others, but the visitor was so irregular that I thought you should know at once. Irregular? It's like it's about time I take my leave then. Actually, the visitor said he would like to greet you as well, and not just Her Majesty. Oh shit, who's this? Who is this visitor? He introduced himself as Chancellor Giliath Osborne of the Erebonian Empire. What? Oh fuck! Sawa, we're getting introduced to the man himself. I didn't think this was gonna happen. I did not expect Giliath Osborne to turn up. Look at this dude. He looks like a conniving cunt hole. I'm Giliath Osborne, representative of the Imperial Government. My apologies for the abrupt intrusion. Listen to that music. You can feel the power this man has politically as he walks into the room. Look at his design as well. That is such an awesome looking sprite. He's as imposing as Zin. And it's a pleasure to see you again as well, Your Highness. It's been a year since we last met. Oh shit. Olivia thought he'd be getting away from him, but little did he know this dude turned up. This guy, man. This actually makes me excited for Cold Steel, because I know for a fact, fucking fact that this dude has got to appear in Cold Steel. He's got to. Erebonian, he's a huge guy in the Erebonian politics. It'd be dumb for him not to have him in there. Just what did prompt someone of your stature to appear at the castle without warning? I'd very much like to hear your side of the story. My apologies, Your Highness. You see, these past few days I've been touring Eastern Erebonia on routine inspections. It's been going very smoothly, more so than I had initially anticipated. I had enough free time on my schedule to pay a cordial visit. Naturally, I would have preferred to come here while the crisis was still unfolding like you yourself did, Your Highness. Unfortunately, the confusion in southern Erebonia was simply too pressing a matter. I had no choice but to deal with that first. This was the first chance that presented itself to come here and meet directly with Her Majesty, so I acted with the utmost... I hope you'll forgive my lack of proper decorum in failing to give advance notice of my arrival. Regardless, please don't concern yourself with me. No doubt you wish to offer your greetings to Her Majesty. Oh my god, look at this Don, man. It's fucking... Well, I don't want to call him a Don because he's a dickhead, from what it sounds like, but... Shit, man. Allow me to extend my most heartfelt greetings to both you, Queen Alicia, and Princess Claudia. It's abundantly clear that the crisis that unfolded here has been quite the ordeal for yourselves and for your nation's people. With my deepest sympathies for the hardships you have endured, as well as my commendation for bringing the situation under control. If anything, we should be apologizing to you for the fact that the southern side of your nation was caught up in what should have been our problem. We should be the ones going to you rather than having you He's just making face, isn't he? He's just making face. Make people comfortable. We never asked for apologies. I've heard what happened was the work of a shadowy organisation. I bet you did. I bet you heard it. You probably heard it from them themselves. You're probably in cahoots with them. While I meant well by sending a military force to aid you, I wouldn't have done something so careless had I known the truth of the matter. My actions were rash, foolish even, and I was rightfully reprimanded by His Imperial Majesty for them. You're probably wanting to kick the Emperor off his seat. You're probably making your own coup d'etat, probably. Fortunately, His Highness the Prince was able to act with all due haste to put right my misstep before even greater harm was done. I owe you a great debt of gratitude for that, Your Highness. Congratulations besides for your part in bringing an end to the crisis. I did nothing out of the ordinary. I had a lot of help from Her Majesty, Her Highness, and Brigadier General Bright here too. Bright, you say? Oh shit. This is basically, he's looking into Cassius's eyes here. It's like the meeting of two potential powerhouses. It's a pleasure to meet you, Your Excellency. Like, I reckon Giliath Osborne, if he's not powerful in the sense of like fighting, he's definitely a capable politician. Like, smart, conniving, you know, bellend. So either way, like, he's probably got the same political strength, if not physical strength, as Cassius does in combat. Brigadier General in the Berlin Royal Army. Pleasure is all mine, I assure you. Your name is rather well known even in the Empire. Not as much as yours is known here in the bar, I would imagine. It's an honour to be able to speak with you in person. It's certainly a surprise to be able to, though. Coming here on a whim can't have been easy for a man as busy as yourself. Sounds as though I may have underestimated just how capable you truly are. Not at all, I was greatly impressed to see the Royal Army's effectiveness in dealing with the tumult here. Your forces have proven yourself yet flexible, capable of dealing with emergencies ably and decisively. I might go as far as to say it embodies an ideal that the Imperial Army with its swollen ranks could never hope to realise. You flatter us, Your Excellency. For your part, I hear you are responsible for the establishment of the Imperial Army's famed intelligence division. Our army is in desperate need of a new one of its own, so I find myself quite envious. It sounds like as though the two of us want each want what the other has. So it does. May I ask Your Excellency, what will you be doing now? For my part, I'm intending to leave Liberl today, so I'm afraid I won't be around much longer. I believe you intended to make your grand arrival in Heimdall across the famous Arcee. I'm impressed you're already aware. You already knew, man. This dude, I suppose it's Lecter, right? Almost wish I could return to Ereboni on board alongside you, but alas, I'm afraid I have other business demanding my attention after I'm finished here. I'll be leaving Liberl separately this afternoon. That is a shame. I would very much have liked to invite you to this evening's banquet. Imagine how ominous him just sat there at the banquet would have been. It would have been like, I remember when I watched, because I've only watched the first 3 Harry Potter films, but I remember in the first Harry Potter film, that, what's his name? What's his fucking name? Black-haired dude. Stan watching Harry Potter. No, not Voldemort. What's his name? What's his fucking name? It's the black-haired dude. Nah. What's his name? His long black hair. Ah, fuck it. I don't care. But him. When he stares at Harry Potter when they're at the dinner thing in the first film. Snape's, that's probably it, yeah, Snape's or whatever. I can't remember, like, I watched those films like a long time ago. Like, I don't really have much of an interest in Harry Potter. I feel it's a bit overrated, in my opinion. Put out enough showing up and out as I did, to say nothing of dining with such esteemed company. Still, I do have some time before the airship. I'll be leaving on his due to depart. That being the case, might I ask for a little of your time, Your Highness? I have a few things I'd like to discuss with you personally. Nah, me neither. I don't get the hype behind it. Like, I feel like J.K. Rowling is a very overhyped author. Like, I'm not gonna say she's terrible, but she's overrated. Personal review as well. Allow me to have a room arranged for the two of you to have your discussion then. I'll do if you would. Certainly, Your Majesty. Is this going to be a passive aggressive sort of discussion here? Is it going to be fake smiles and guns under the table kind of discussion? It's obvious that Her Majesty is quite the tea fancy, if this blend is anything to go by. The fragrance, the temperature, the taste, I'd be hard pressed to find fault with any of it. I've always been more of a coffee man myself, but I have no doubt that I'd be content with a cup of this at my desk each morning. So shall we get right to the point? What did you want to discuss with me? I see your sojourn in Labar has proven most fruitful. Pardon? When we last spoke, you struck me as a bright, flexible young man. Oh, bloody hell, that's a little bit too much information there. And no doubt you still are, but now I see in you a resilient inner strength safeguarding those aspects. I'm sure His Majesty will be most delighted with your personal development. Meanwhile, I see you're the same fearless man I've always known you to be. More so even. That crushing aura about you seems to have only grown with time. It's as if you feed on the resentment of those who live in the territories you annex. Such harsh words, Your Majesty. Personally, I prefer the term political unification. Of course you do. Of course you prefer that term. Annex can carry such negative connotations, you know. Yeah, same word, same meaning behind it. Since the end of the 100 Days War, our army hasn't committed a single act of aggression. All our unifications have been entirely peaceful. I feel like everything. Yeah, exactly. Like everything feels so. Like there's just an underlying fucking. Like he's talking shit. He's talking shit. That's what it is. He's being politician. It's amazing how similar the annexation process is every single time it happens. It starts with a small nation or independent state with an array of problems beyond repair. Those problems start to worsen, after which Jaegers and other dangerous elements enter, plunging public order to an all-time low. That's what reminds me actually. Erebonia is Russia. That's what it is. Kalvad is like probably a mix of Asia and America. The Burl is like Europe. And yeah, like Russia, USSR, the Soviet Union, with the Imperial Army. Before they know it, they're part of the Empire. It's not though I can deny what you're saying. Each instance does share certain commonalities. Maybe Chancellor Osborne is a reference. Yeah, exactly, Putin. That's what I was thinking. He's a reference to Putin, probably. Inevitable consequence of the age of unchecked growth and progress in which we live. Because like Putin's putting like legislation now, but he's able to go, I think, until 2032 or something stupid like that. Like he's managed to bypass that. That seems like something like this dude would do. And it seems like something that Osborne would do happily to like become emperor, and then when he becomes emperor, he'd enforce these things where he's capable of being emperor for long periods of time and all that other shit. Like he'd threaten people on the you know, like he'd threaten people on the board or on the what's it called, like that in Parliament, I guess, whatever it is, in the council. Like he'd threaten them to allow the law through, because he seems like the kind of dude who plots assassinations as well. Politician. It's understandable that they would. I do find myself rather curious why intelligence division members are going to such, for the problems I described, worsen no less. I wouldn't press as to where you came by such information, as curious as I am, but I will say this. At its most basic level, those actions are about risk management. It's because we've been acting to minimize such risks beforehand that the army has been able to successfully quell each problem in turn. With the small price of earning the disdain of the people in those nations and an increased risk of terrorism in exchange. To tell you the truth, I'm rather astounded that you had the courage to come here to the Liberal all on your own to begin with. After all, you've earned yourself the biggest target for terrorists in all of Erebonia. I don't think terrorists would touch this dude. There's just something about him. There's just something about him, like it. Another like they either wouldn't touch him because they're scared, or they wouldn't touch him because he's got them in their they're in his pocket basically. I employ some very skilled subordinates tasked primarily with eliminating the risk of terrorist attacks against me. They might all be terrorists themselves. Really now, that lector is one of those, I assume. A rather peculiar fellow, isn't he? But a very useful one all the same. Working out the scheduling for this trip and taking all the necessary precautions to ward off terrorist threats were both his doing, and thanks to his commendable efforts, I can depart for Crossbell free from worry as soon as I've finished my business here. Okay, this is telling me that he's probably going to be in the Crossbell games. You need to remember this door for future games. What the particulars of it. I'll be participating in a top secret discussion with a representative of the Crossbell government. He's got to be in the Crossbell games then. Like, it feels like he's going to be in them. Recently, a large amount of funding has been flowing into the country through Republican channels, putting our allies on the defensive. I'd always meant to visit at some point, and this seemed the perfect opportunity. Crossbell is full of enemies and different factions at each other's throats. I hear it's now even a hotbed for terrorists and criminal organizations because of its position as a buffer state. Does that really sound like a place the Arabonian Chancellor should be going even on an unofficial visit? I'm surprised to hear you advocating caution in the face of potential danger, Your Highness. After all, it was you who flew into an ancient city at great risk to your own safety, and returned unharmed after surveying it. Compared to such rousing risk-taking, my visit to Crossbell will be child's play. As I'm sure you're aware, you're regarded as something of a hero back in Arabonia now. To see a hero make a grand return befitting his newly minted legend, and aboard the famous Arcee no less. Naturally, our hero has also taken the time to ensure that every well-known newspaper and magazine are well aware of his homecoming too. Oh, I have no doubts that your triumphant arrival will be every bit as glorious as it has played out in your imaginings, Your Highness. Oh, fuck. And now we're starting to understand why Osborne is such a huge threat to Olivia, right? Do be sure to capitalise on this chance as best you can to build yourself a firm foothold. I expect great things from you after all. He's a fucking... He literally slapped Olivia left, right and centre in that discussion. He slapped him left, right and centre and told him, you have got no party tricks up your sleeve. You've got 0 party tricks. He knows everything. Hold on. Sieg. Haven't changed a bit, huh? Sounds like a ton's happened. What? Oh, do they know each other? Okay, I guess I thought for a second was I thought for a minute then Sieg was actually secretly an Erebonian spy this entire time. I'm not causing any trouble by taking a tour of the castle like this. The view from this terrace certainly is beautiful, isn't it? Maybe he is. I don't know. Can't be, man. How'd you end up working for Chancellor Osborne? Oh, okay, I see. Your name is Lecter Arundel. You were the student council president at Genus Royal Academy, which you attended before leaving suddenly 2 years ago. So no, I'm not mistaking you for someone else. Ah, but that's where you're wrong, because my name is actually Terrarundel. I can certainly see how our names could become mixed up, however, they are scarcely close. Still, now you know, please just call me Lek. Don't try and joke around with me, Lecter. Do you have any idea how worried all of us were when you just disappeared without a word? You submitted your notice to leave the academy and then were never seen again. Even the otherwise calm Leo let out a cry of anger when he found out, and all Lucy could do was give a sad smile and say, "This is just like him," the whole time with tears in her eyes. Jill and Hans were heartbroken, and so was I. Yet after all that, after all this time, you finally show yourself, and know full well that I'm here and this is how you act, by pretending you're someone else. And she's laughing, Lecter. Sorry, no need for the scary glare. He's all taking things way too seriously. Looks like it'll take more than stepping up as a crown princess to change that part of you. Oh, but you know, seeing you makes me feel kind of relieved. I always figured if someone like you became crown princess, you'd have virtually no freedom to do anything other than work. But from all that's reached my ears, it sounds like you're actually doing alright by yourself. You even made some great new friends after I left the academy, didn't you? Nice. Nice. I sure did. Nonetheless, it's thanks to you that I was able to change it all. You were the one who gave me the first push in the right direction. I never got the chance to thank you properly after you left, but all this time I've always been grateful to you. Consider me honoured. Do I get a kiss in return? You do not. I may feel respect towards you, but nothing romantic. Now Joshua's the only person she has romantic feelings for, and he's gone with another woman. He's a taken man. My, how pretty you'd become, wondering if this could be the start of something downright magical. And what happens instead? My dreams of romance and sweet smooches are crushed to nothing before they can even begin. I know you don't mean a word of that, you know. You're looking very sharp yourself, though. It's surprising to see. Every time I've seen you before today, it was in that heavily frayed uniform, worn in the most sloppy way imaginable. I think you'll find I was merely making a fashion statement. That wasn't laziness or slobbishness. Every part of it was carefully calculated and considered to have maximum effect. The scary thing is I actually believe you. It always seemed as if you cared for nothing but having fun and causing trouble. Yet when it came down to it, you were wise beyond your years. And I've finally seen part of the reason behind that today. I'll ask you again, Lecter. How did you end up working for Chancellor Osborne like this? Just what happened to you between you submitting your notice to leave the academy and now? Oh, here we go. This is the stuff that I care about. I don't really give too much of a shit about Lecter. This is the meaty stuff. That'd be the case. On the contrary, I was expecting you to tell me to back off. Oh, Adios forbid. What reason would I have to suggest such a thing? After all, at the end of the day, our positions are functionally the same. I'm not sure I understand. Do you not think so? Personally, I find it difficult to believe that you would not harbour some hatred toward Erebonia as it is today. A grand empire clinging to the glories of a bygone era, ruled by the nobility and shackled by meaningless conventions. Am I wrong? People call me the Blood and Iron Chancellor as though I hold the whole of Erebonia in the palm of my hand, but in reality my position is far more tenuous. I have supporters and allies in the capital certainly, but outside its walls the nobility holds far more sway than any of them. Okay, and while it is true I hold a great amount of power in the form of the Imperial Army, even then I only truly command around 70% of it. Oh yeah, I only command about 70% of it. The remainder is loyal to the nobility who also maintain their own private armies. With those factored in, my advantage shrinks substantially. So you see, I'm still very much in the midst of a battle to truly exert control. It's more fun. It's more than half. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's only 70%. Only 70% of the army I have. Like nearly 3/4 of the royal army I have of Erebonia I have in my control. You know, an army much larger than the liberal army. Like, just 70%, you know. Expand your area of influence, and you'd be annexing new territory to that same end. As I've long thought, you clearly understand me better than anyone else. That is why I'll say this once again, work with me, your highness. With your support, our nation will be able to bring about real reform faster than ever. The noble faction bloated with its centuries of decadence can be stopped before they even have the chance to unify against us. Surely that's what you desire more than anything. Let me just ask a simple question, Chancellor. What connection do you have with Ouroboros? This is the... He's not going to outright claim that he has any connection. But we all know. We all know. I'm afraid I'm not quite sure what you're asking. Dearie me. I don't understand. I will say this, however, I'm a firm believer in using every resource at my disposal in the name of achieving reform. That's the way I believe in handling politics. So he basically just said yes, then. He just answered the question then. And that's all the more reason why I'm afraid I must refuse your offer. This is so refreshing for me too. Is that so? Yes, I find it difficult to take the rotten noble faction that exists in the Empire. I wanted to see this door again. Right here, that hate is the more appropriate word, but my feelings of fear towards your methods are far greater than my feelings of hatred towards the nobles. What you seem to be doing is trying to compel Erebonians with a delusive utopia to whip them into an enthusiastic frenzy. Yeah, similar to how the 100 Days War started by whipping everyone into a frenzy of liberal is evil. When, you know, that wasn't the case. It was a farce. The old guard will fall into the metaphorical firestorm created, and yet by then the gears will have already begun turning. There will be no satisfying a roused populace with a thirst for revolution. The storm will just keep growing larger and more ravenous, engulfing anything and everything in its wake. You know this, don't you, Chancellor? But of course, after all, that's what I intend to happen. It's the first stage of my reforms. Shit. I'd be more than happy to share further details with you if you would decide to work with me, Your Highness. In the meantime, I wish you well in strengthening your foothold back in the Empire. Of course, if that's your intention, you'll find it a necessity to work with those nobles you so despise. Shit. He is really pushing Olivia's hand here now. That sounds like the noon bell. The airship should be arriving shortly. It's time I left. Which means it's time for me to take my leave, I'm afraid. I'll leave you pretty much, you know, pinned against a wall. I look forward to seeing you again in the capital in 2 weeks' time. I take it the discussion is over then. What's wrong? You look awfully tired. Oh, nothing. I'm just feeling awed and anew at what a monster I decided to pick a fight with exactly. Osborne is a fucking monster, man. Beast. I'm gonna have to stop you there and get going. See you. Next time I see you, I'll bring you some Erebonian salami as a souvenir, okay? Bloody hell. Giliath Osborne did not disappoint in his first appearance. He did not disappoint. Important question for you. Did you fall in love with someone while I was away? But yes, you did. But that person's gone. Forever. Hit the nail on the head, huh? Ah, that's so cute. First love, right? How's that feel? Heart will flutter 1 minute, end of the world the next. But you're right though, I did. He rejected me in this very spot not that long ago. Yeah. But you're joking, right? There's a coincidence I didn't see coming. I'm not so sure about that. It feels like you know everything sometimes. I'm not some kind of all-knowing, all-seeing divinity. That's what makes the world so interesting to me. What's he done? Oh, he's rubbing her head. Oh, I'm happy for you, Chloe. Knowing the pain of lost love's what makes a girl blossom, in my humble opinion. Do you feel like the whole experience let you get a step closer to the person you want to be? Well, what about you? Do you feel you're getting closer to becoming the person that you want to be? By being at the chancellor's side? Kinda hard to do that when I don't have a person I want to be with to begin with. I'm just sticking with him because it feels like it'll be fun, that's all. I've been doing it since before I joined the academy, in fact. Like an intern. That prince is proving surprisingly capable, but he still isn't a match for the chancellor. I'll be honest, he doesn't seem like Olivia, as he stands now, doesn't stand a chance against Osborne, Chancellor Osborne. Swallowed up by that monster after he gets tired of dancing. Osborne is like he's you know what? He's probably the biggest threat we've seen in our Trails game yet. Just by that moment alone, he proved himself. He proved himself to be like a very different beast. Like I even feel like he feels like an even greater threat than someone like Wiseman. Even without having any like special powers or anything. Wiseman should have been more dangerous. Yeah, he should have. That was his problem. He was very egocentric. He thought his plan couldn't go wrong. And yet Kevin managed to completely pull his plan apart. Like easily. Like if Wiseman wasn't so egocentric, he would have been probably unstoppable. But I suppose it was the salt pail and his hatred to the Septian Church, right, for taking the salt pail and weaponizing it, that he was so looking forward to and thinking that he'd finally found a way to fuck everyone over, and then that confidence fucked him basically. Can't believe he actually went out of his way to use a civilian airship when he probably has a private one of his own. Oh, Sherazade. I'd heard rumours about how out of the ordinary he is, but he lives up to all of them. He keeps me on my toes, to put it playfully enough. Him aside, thanks for coming all this way to see me off, Shara. I was lucky I just happened to have business here at the right time. Feels like this is going to be the last chance we get to see one another for a while after all. What? Rather unfortunate as my dream is and always was to live away my days in the lap of luxury surrounded by women as beautiful as you. Well, good luck with that. Changing the subject though, who was the young man at the Chancellor's side? Why does it feel like there's something going on there? I felt like there was something going on between Olivia and Sherazade then. Because you always see them together drinking and stuff, and just that line of dialogue felt like Sherazade kind of went out of her way a little bit here to see Olivia off. But of course, I'd say I'm used to running into people who are out of the ordinary at this point. We've sure fought enough of them. His name's Lecter Arundel. He's a secretary who was sent here by the Imperial government. Apparently, he was the one who planned out all the details of the Chancellor's visit to Lebrel. I can't pretend to know much regarding his background, but he's exceptionally skilled at what he does. Yeah, no shit. I know a little. What? Oh, is that true? Hold on, give me a sec. How do you explain that Lecter once attended the... Okay, so she's just telling him what we already know. At the Academy Festival 2 years ago. Okay. Unbelievable. Then, someone connected to the Chancellor had visited Lebrel first, when he's very likely to have had his own veritable information network established here long before I even came up with the idea. Exactly. Steps ahead. Too many steps ahead. He knows every detail about all that's happened here since. No one had a fucking clue that he had this all built up. No one. Cassius, Olivia, no one. This dude might actually be the most powerful person in Trails, period. Period. So far. Like, even, like, stronger than Cassius in terms of, like, his capability. Or maybe he's on par, maybe, I don't know, but he feels nigh unstoppable. The way they built him up in this door. Like, he had something built here that no one knew even existed. He knew Olivia's plan, like Olivia had told him it. But that monster, when you get tired of dancing, I feel like I can see a whole new world of pleasure opening up before my eyes. You should know better. Getting outdone at every turn like this is really not my style. Captain Schwartz, I have a little favour I'd like to ask you when we're in the air. What's going on? There it is. I'm rather impressed with how Prince Oliver has come along. No matter how he chooses to act from here on, he will have his uses to be set. And this is that music, that imperial music. Given that you think of everyone as your pawns, there's me, the prince, that society. That society! What, he even has all... Does this dude have literally everyone in the palm of his hand? You know, but pawns on the vast game board that is the Empire, where a thrill like no other will take place. But it's because you too wish to see how that game plays out, but you've chosen to stand with me, is it not? What can I say? Just don't forget this piece right here might not be loyal forever. And such a betrayal would be perfectly fine by me. Or did you honestly think I'd never considered the possibility it may happen? Maybe he's an angry Slag Weisman, maybe. But it kind of feels like he's not. To me, it feels like he's not in the organization. He just is connected to it somehow. Similar to how Richard was somewhat connected a little bit to Ouroboros. Like, you know, maybe Osborne is more willingly and knowingly connected to it than Richard was. But like, I don't feel like he's an Anguis. I don't feel like he is. I feel like he's probably like connected to them and he's using them for his own political gain. But I reckon it's similar. He thinks he's got the entirety of Ouroboros in his pocket, but I reckon he's like maybe he's not. I don't know. They're all doing very well by the side. Like there's not enough with Osborne that I've seen to be able to come to that conclusion. I don't think. Perhaps I ought to hold back on him a little. You sure don't pull any punches, do you? You know something? I wouldn't write him off so easily if I were in your shoes. What? Oh, there it is, the Arce. What? Heh. He's throwing him some roses. Oh, he shot the roses. What's going on here? These look like rose petals. If you look at the windows on the right hand side of the airship, you'll be able to see the famous high-speed cruiser the Arcee. We've been informed that it is on its way to the imperial capital of Prince Oliver of the Erebonian, but he has also given us a message to relay to all the passengers on board today. I give thanks to Adius for the good fortune to have been able to meet you today. May your journey be filled with beautiful roses and her blessings. And of course, may your journey to your homes be a safe and pleasant one. That marks the end of his message. I see what he's doing. That is a middle finger if I've ever seen one. That is a middle finger if I've ever seen. It's so good. Very well, debaucherous prince. I look forward to seeing what you can do. Awesome. Awesome. I cannot wait. I cannot wait to see more of this in Cold Steel. End. Door is ended. What a great door. That was great. That was really long as well. These star doors are actually getting longer. What a great fucking door, man. Okay, let's try and finish this chapter. Try and finish this chapter out. So hold on. Where am I? Okay, so there's 2 teleporters here. I'm going to assume the first one I come across is the one that's going to take me to optional area, maybe. Like, I feel like I need to finish this chapter today. I feel like I prolonged it long enough. Okay. Oh, fuck me. Oh, man. Oh, no. I don't want these in my party. Should be close to the end. Yeah, I figure as much. Amble bracelet. I don't want these guys in my party. Hold on, let me switch them out. I want to put my boy Richard back in. How good is Ren as a party member? Because I was thinking Richard and Ren, but I don't know. An adequate performance. It'll either be Ren or Tita. Not limited by lines. She's good with arts. Okay. I'll take her. I'll just take her because I feel that balances my party out a bit. Ooh. Let me... No, not... I need Ren. Yeah, 9 lives. Battle Surcoat. 4 skaters. Streggers 0. Prince Poison and Blind. Where's where is it? It's I need what's it called? Mute. Crimson Eye's the only one that gives me that low. Okay, let's see if I can increase my speed and shit. Feather brooch. Okay, let's put that in there. I use Ren. Okay. Yo, Blue Post, welcome. I'm gonna finish this chapter and then end the stream. But I'm fairly close to it. Tools, that's what I want. Tear or bomb. I feel like I need more of these. Reviving Balm. EP's fine. S tablet. Reviving Balm. Let's get a couple more of these actually. Okay. Let's take a look at quartz a sec. Defense plus 15. Sure, let's do this. Fire. Ruby gem. Emerald gem. Do I have anyone there that... Time. Onyx gem. Oh yes. That would be... If I give that to Richard, that might break him. Space. EP cut 5. That is an awful lot of fucking... Okay, let's just buy all the... I can't get a Mirage gem. Ah well, you know what, I've got a lot of the big gems anyway. Now who was I wanting to... Estelle... Raise to level 3. Richard. Oh, she's already got all of hers maxed out. Okay, let's equip some augments. Reese. Ooh! Oh, and I'll do that after I've slotted everyone else's in. Heaven's Eye. Well, I'll give the Topaz Gem to Estelle, and then I'll give... Action 4. Fuck. Actually, what I'll do... Idea. Here's an idea. Because what is it? It's... Onyx Gem. So that's Action 5. So what if I do this? What if I do this? I... Heaven's Eye, and then Onyx Gem. There we go. Okay, so that's Estelle, Ren. Well, she's already got a Sapphire Gem. Okay. Let's get the Water Gem. Water Gem or Sapphire Gem. Max HP plus 15. I could get both, but I could only really use one of them. If I give her... Where is it? Oh yes, of course she hasn't got fucking thing open, is she? So fiddly sometimes. This one. There we go. Nice. Nice, 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 nice. Give her HP. Actually, no. Should I give her HP? Nah, you know what? Fuck it. I'll give it to her. I'll give it to her. There we go. Actually, do I have EP cut? Attack. Give her attack 3. Cast. I better cast, don't I? I don't. Huh. I thought I had more than just that. Maybe it's equipped for someone else. Maybe it's equipped for someone else. Oh, let me see. EP cut 4. Yeah, let's just swap out something like that and then give EP cut. Fuck it, I'll just go like this. Fuck it. Fuck it, fuck it, fuck it. Okay, I'm just gonna... Any other doors, I'll do some other point. Because I still have a lot of star doors left to do in this game. Okay. Oh, fuck off, man. I forgot to give, oh, I know what I forgot to do. I forgot to give Richard his speed thing. Let me do that now. Oh no, I did. I did. I'm an idiot. My memory's going. My memory's fading. No! I didn't sneak by. Oh well. Just want to get through the areas that I've already walked through. So I already went there. Got the thing out of there. Switch to space. I use Ren. So, Blue Post, how you doing, man? How are things? How is life treating you? Worst minigame, eh? What's that all about? I'm not ranting about it. I've already ranted about it. If you missed the rant, you missed the rant. You can go back and watch it. I'm not doing it again. Probably one of the worst rages and rants I've had in a long while. Actually, maybe ever. Ever on Bant Nation. It's the minigame. There was a minigame in this game that was trash. I still haven't finished it, and I need to finish it, but it's trash. The rank gave me a headache. Calamity throw. See what this is like. Yeah, it's wait and watch simulator, but it's also wait and watch, and maybe something will happen. There's no guarantee that anything will actually happen from it. But maybe you'll be lucky. Maybe you'll be lucky that it does. Where the fuck am I now? Hold on, that came the wrong way, didn't I? I came the wrong fucking way. I went the wrong way then. I didn't do it on stream. It was something I did off stream. But oh fuck off! See how fast it ran? It was like Usain Bolt. It's like Usain fucking Bolt. Enough to bring the game's rating down by 1 unit. I don't know. Maybe. I'm not sure, man. I just... Probably. Like, I feel all of these mini-games feel so, like... I don't know, they feel so forced. I want to see that rant. Yeah, it'll be on the VoD. It'll be on the VoD. And it'll be on YouTube as well after I've uploaded it. I never wanna go through a minigame like that ever again. If there's a minigame similar to it later on, I'll be honest, this game could have been one of my favourites. But if there's anything similar to that at all later in the game, Immortal said there isn't. But if there is, by chance, then this will be going down further on my list of my favourite Trails games. Which is a shame. Which is such a shame. What minigame are you talking about? The fishing one. The fishing minigame. I find it poorly designed. I feel RNG heavy. I feel it's not fun in the slightest. It basically takes a bare bones minigame from the second game, but was already unappealing then, and tries to make you feel as if, you know, it's still appealing now. Fishing, yeah, exactly. I hate that stupid minigame. I still have to finish it. And I'm gonna do it off stream, but such a mood dampener that minigame. I thought it would be frustrating, but not that frustrating. Like I have a percentage of a chance of catching the thing or hooking it, and then after I have to, if I pass that, I have to also pass being able to hook it in. Like reel it in. So there's two luck checks basically, and you waste time trying to get fish before then to get the bigger fish to get better score, and then you end up wasting so many turns because the percentage chance of getting something fails. So you're like, fuck it, man. It gave me a headache. I'm not gonna go on another rant again. I'm not going on that rant again. I'm not like. It made me feel woozy. Made me feel woozy and I had a headache and my throat. I think I was losing my voice because I got so agitated of it. What's wrong about this? Here we go. This is the boss fight, I assume. Here we go. It's from above. What is this? What the fuck are spiders? What is this? These are the 3 gluttonous Arachne sisters, kin of the 77 devils featured in the Testaments. They weave nightmares and consume the souls of those who wander into their labyrinth. Sure look the part, but they're not going to be enough to stop us, so let's get nasty. Okay. What are we dealing with here? Shadow Spider. Okay. Let's see first if they weak to any. Okay, so these guys are weak to that, but I feel like it's gonna take too long. Oh my bloody hell. Blood circle. Oh, it's too far away. Calamity throw. Attack delay. Oh fuck, they have this now, do they? Oh. Let's kill one of these spiders. Okay, and then are these weak guys weak to anything? Okay, they're weak to space. She didn't have any space. Fuck. Baker Rage. Yeah. Full on Baker Rage, man. Okay, nice. Nice, nice, nice. Strength down. Strength up, strength down. Shake it all about. still causes heavy damage even though she has like stat down. Okay. Easy, easy, easy. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves here. Okay. True. Blood circle. Actually, you know what? I'm not gonna use that. I don't want to use too much of Richard's thing. Actually, is that one of them dead? Oh, nice. It's one of them down already. And I've got S breaks coming up as well, so I'll just be able to wail on them. EP charge one. Nice. Nah, I'm gonna get their CPs up. Oh, because if that's a Reese's one. Here we go, Heavenly Strike. You fucking go, take this laser. Laser up your ass. There's another one of them down. Oh dearie dearie me. Oh dearie dearie me. Fuck it, man. Okay. There we go. This was the ability that fucked me over in the second game, if you remember, guys. Now it's in my arsenal. And then here comes, I guess, the ability that fucked me up in the first game. There we go. Call allies. Are you shitting me? There's more? Terrible. He insta-killed 3 guys. Blade net. Okay, you're getting a bit too feisty for my liking. Good thing I have his ridiculous, like, what's it called? Have his ridiculous speed boost thing. Hey, easy, 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 easy. Okay, this guy's a bit tougher. EP charge. Use a EP charge 2. Where is it? Hey, whoa, easy there, cowboy. I don't think so, not today, not today. Oh, bloody hell. Terror bomb. Wheel of Time. Let's do this on him. Just do a bit more damage. Hey, yeah, 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 yeah. That is not a very nice ability, and I don't like it. Fuck me, man. I wish there was... I wish there was someone a bit better than... Did he revive his head? Oh, that's what he does, is it? Oh, for fuck's sake, a health-stealing enemy. That is one of the most cancerous ones you can get. Oh. I hate enemies that do this. Whoa, 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 what? This boss is getting even more annoying now. Oh, bloody fucking hell, man. Softening bomb. Miss. Good. I hate that this boss can health steal. That is really irritating. Of course I missed. Poison bomb. You can do everything. Hey guys, let's make a boss that can literally do every single debuff. That sounds fun. Yeah, let's do that. Hehehe, they won't know what's coming. Yeah, it health steals. EP charge for style. Fuck off, you prick. You fucking prick. Oh, fuck off with your spam and the same ability. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna wait. Oh, fuck it. Stop still. Are you kidding me? I need to get everyone's S breaks up. Like bosses that do this, it's fucking annoying, man. Napalm breath. Since she's got no space arts to use. Of course, he gets cured the exact turn I... Whatever. Fucking take that, you... No, you don't. No, you fucking don't. Why is he not dead yet? So frustrating. $2k HP left. And everyone's running out of EP now at the most inopportune time. Okay. Of course, you've got 0 EP as well. Or nearly 0. Till and Richard. Is that Richard? Yeah, Richard. Okay, now do dark matter. This should be nearly over. Come on, man. There we go. Bloody hell, man. That was annoying. Like, I hate enemies that just restore their health by taking health from you. Because not only do you have to deal with getting their health back up, but you have to deal with the fact that they've just put more HP on than they would have had normally. So like the boss fight isn't actually 27k HP, it's actually more than that, because he keeps on using the same ability. Okay, nice. This looks different than the other stones. I feel like a princess in a fairy tale. I think this one might actually be different. Yeah, it's not yellow. No, instead of the usual warmth, it seems to have a cool, almost divine feel to it. Almost as if it contains the goddess herself within. Who's this? Is it Schwarzritter or Lord of Phantasma? Okay, Schwarzritter. But priest is so unconscious, I see. What a shame. I was rather surprised to find out that he can only use his stigma powers against heretics. Even power of that magnitude is meaningless if it's so limited and has such repercussions. I almost pity him. To tell you the truth, I wasn't expecting you to reach this point so quickly. Your final piece is inordinately capable. Thanks to you, I ended up having to make my appearance sooner than I was expecting. I suppose I should have expected no less from the host of Gransel's finest tea party. Regardless, I came to fulfill a duty, and fulfill it I shall. Think of that stone as a gift for gathering all the pieces scattered throughout Phantasma. It contains not an additional piece, but a rule book of sorts that you may find beneficial. Okay, so what is this rule book? That certainly explains why it feels different compared to the others. Could this mean that you're finally ready to face us head on rather than continuously taunting us? Whether that time comes is entirely up to you. For now, all I will say is this. On the next game board, all of you will find yourselves face to face with a number of trials to overcome. He's escaping again. Trials in the sky. Variety in all shapes and sizes, even I will be one of them. Really now, I eagerly anticipate seeing whether you are able to overcome them all and make it to me. Don't disappoint me now. Okay. It's almost as if he can't help but try to taunt us. He stays just long enough to say something cryptic and then leaves before elaborating every single time. Is something wrong, Estelle? Oh, it's nothing. Anyway, we might have got nothing but cryptic teasers out of him, but we do have a new ceiling stone to unlock. I think we should head back to the garden and get to it. Okay. Are we going to get to see, or is it going to say chapter end? Okay, no, we're going to get to see it, I guess. So see what this stone does that's different. It's pretty different compared to all the other ceiling stones. Wonder who's going to appear out of it. Is something wrong? Feels somehow nostalgic. That comes as no surprise. Oh shit, who's this? Is this the ghost that we've been seeing, or are you giving her energy back or something? Oh, it is her. She looks like... Who is this? Is this Adios? Is this... Who is this? finally communicate with you like this. And how many hundreds of years it's been since I was last able to hold a true... Who is this? One of my own... Oh! Okay. So it's the woman. Okay, I see. It's Chloe's ancestor from the second game who was leaving all that information behind. Celeste or whatever. Yeah, Celeste. The Celeste, yeah. Oh shit. And that's where the chapter ends. Oh shit. Damn, man. I was thinking it was Adios or connected to Adios somehow. Because I thought the Septarian was an artifact given by Adios. I thought maybe the voice was Adios. That this was her dimension, but I was like, yeah, the one which showed the Archway, yeah, I remember her. She left the things behind in the second game when you're going through the towers. Shit, man. Awesome. Awesome. What a great little end to the chapter there. And also I really loved that door. That door, you were right, Immortal, that was a really good door. But I love the fact that we actually get to meet the Iron and Blood Chancellor. We got to meet Giliath Osborne, and he did not disappoint. He did not disappoint, and he makes me excited, like really excited to see Cold Steel. Because I'm sure he's connected to it. I even think he might even be in the Crossbell games. Because he hinted that he was heading to Crossbell. So he might even be in them as well. Like, I'm really genuinely excited to see this. Yeah, that was a really good door. Really good door. But yeah, I'm going to leave that there. Been streaming for nearly 2 hours, I think. No stream tonight, but there is a movie night. We're watching The Kingsman. The first Kingsman film. So it'll be at 12:30 AM BST. So if you can make it, hop on in. You know, hop on in, join in, watch the film. If you're not part of the Discord and you want to be, just leave a message in the text chat and I'll give you the Discord link. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it there, guys. I might stream tomorrow. I don't know if I'll join. No worries if you can't make it, if you've got places to be the next day. But we do major movies every Friday. But after this Friday, we're actually going to be doing Star Wars: The Clone Wars watch along. So it'll be a little bit more frequent, and it might even be early, so you might even be able to jump into some of them. But yeah, tomorrow I might stream. I should be streaming. If I'm not going to stream, I'll let you guys know. But I should be streaming at least early on, maybe later on as well. And hopefully, if I do too, I'll be able to make good progress into chapter 6. Because from what I understand, from what I can see, the plane thing, there's 7 planes. So I'm assuming maybe chapter 6 will be the last numbered chapter, and then the final plane will be the final chapter, or maybe it'll be something else. But yeah, thank you, Phil, Blue Post, Immortal, Sinbad briefly, Tanya briefly. Thank you guys for tuning in today. I really do appreciate you guys coming out and supporting and hanging out and chatting and stuff. But yeah, I'll speak to you guys hopefully tomorrow if I don't see you at the movie night tonight. Anyway, take care, guys. I'll see you soon. Teasy.